Hello everyone, I'm Isaiah Hoffman and welcome back to another season of Inside IUE Sports. And I already did my intro, you guys know who I am, but now let me introduce you guys to my guests. Here I have the head coach of the women's volleyball team, head coach Kim McConaughey, and alongside her I have senior Brooke Lepper. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing awesome. Glad to be here with you.
Doing good. Good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, for sure.
You got classes today? No?
Not today. Tomorrow.
Not today. Tomorrow? All right. I got classes today, so I'm going to get through those. But, guys, let's jump into it. We'll start with last season. I'll start with you, Coach.
Yeah.
When you look back at last season, you know, what were you proud of? What do you think? What did you know, okay, I have to work on this with the team this summer?
A lot of looking back, and obviously as a coach you want to reflect a lot even after matches and during practices and see how we do. So assistant coach Callie and I talked a lot, did a lot of podcast listening, reading books, talking to some mentors about how the season went, because our record was fantastic. 26-6 is fantastic. But here's at the end of the day, did we do anything? We sure didn't. You know, so the record didn't show what we were capable of, you know, and we look back and our loss against St. Mary of the Woods after beating Kokomo at home, I look back at that one as the pinnacle of like what we could have done. We didn't forget about that win. Great, we beat Kokomo, fantastic. Yeah. Check that box, move on. We should have went into the classroom and started looking at the next day and gotten mentally prepared. That was one thing, and then our final match against Kokomo in the semifinals, that one we just had so many errors. We talked a lot about errors over the season, but talking about how to mentally understand errors and they're okay. You know, you have to have failures to get better. That was a big thing. So going into spring, we focused a lot on competing. We competed a lot. We played a lot of 6-on-6. Coach Callie and I jumped in, played a little bit, trash talk a little bit. Brooke Lepper here is probably the queen of the trash talking in the gym. You know, just little things, because culturally, we have it. You know, we have all the things teams want. We have it. Now we just got to take the next step and get some more W's and actually show people, get out there and show who we are.
Yeah, and we know the chemistry's there. We were there at the banquet. We know how close this team is. Brooke, for you last season, how would you look at your season last year? You know, what did you do well on? What did you think you could have improved on, and what you want to improve on heading into this season?
I think as a team, for sure, like Coach said, errors, we're really looking at that because volleyball is such a game of numbers. And when it comes down to it, our errors are what kill us and shoot us in the foot kind of a lot of times. So looking at that, as a player, culturally, I think our team, obviously, like we talked about, we are so close. Those girls are my sisters, and I love every single one of them. And that's really important to us. And it's just relating that onto the volleyball court and how can we put that into competing and fighting for a win. So. Yeah,
I agree. No, most definitely. Also, throughout the season, Coach, you did a lot of recruiting. We know a lot of recruits have come in. If you could, you know, for the audience and maybe for the parents of those recruits watching, can you go through those recruits and just kind of tell us, you know, are they redshirted and what they can bring to the table for this team, maybe not this season, but in the future? Yeah,
absolutely. I love bragging about this team. Freshmen, we got 6. That's including our manager. So I'll start with him, Chance Bentley, out of Frankton High School. And he came on board because he's best friends with one of the players, and honestly, it's crazy because he's my little cousin's best friend too. So I knew we had the right people around him, so let's bring him. And he wants to be history teacher, coach baseball, and coach volleyball one day. So that's what he's invested. And I mean, we lucked out with Chance. He is an all-star. You know, the lip sync battle, he's Justin Bieber. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about. Yeah, I definitely got to hear what happened with the lip sync battle.
Oh yeah, it's a tradition now. Adana Key comes along too. Same thing, Frankton High School, middle. She is a true middle. It's really nice to have. Great blocker. She talks well. She brings a lot of positive energy. She's got long arms that helps. Her arm swing is different, so it kind of helps her. We're kind of trying to work on adjusting that a little bit. But she's competitive, but the fact is she comes in already excited. Like, there's just super positive. And then we have Loretta Pelkington out of Bishop Dwenger, and she's from a historically pretty good program, so that helps when you got a program, you know what it takes to win. And also her club team at Empowered, they do a great job at Empowered up there, and she's another middle, got a quick arm, really quick off the floor, and has a nice block. She blocks well. We have 2 freshmen that block really well. We have 2 true middles as a freshman, which is super helpful for us because we were lacking that last year of having extra middles. We only had 2. Now we've got 4. Give them a little bit of a breather. And then Summer Hendershot, she's up there from Fort Wayne as well, and she's from Carroll High School, and she's a DS, and she is lightning fast. Oh man, she is fast, but also her personality is that way. She's well organized, structured, so you know she's coming to practice with a purpose. That helps. But she's not scared. she's that DS will stand on the line and be like, hit me. We've got just a great squad coming with that one. Her serve receive, she's worked really hard on that one to make sure she's executing our serve receive style and is doing really well. She's also a great communicator on the court, talks volleyball really well. And let's see, who would be Tia Cooper. She was the latest ad. She's from Lawrence North. We got her signed. She's right before we came in June for a couple of days. So, I mean, it was a really late ad, trying to get to know her quickly. And so, but we really lucked out with her too. I mean, that was a great addition. It was late as can be, but I mean, I wasn't sure how we'll do it. And she's fit in great. Her personality's been great. She's been working hard. There's a little bit of adjustment of understanding coach and player. She also likes to talk trash a little bit. And I'm like, Cooper, we gotta learn that respect for her. She's great. She's a good time. She's a banger. She's coming in working hard. You know, she wants to outwork everybody too. But there's that one. Who else I got left? Who I'm missing? Peyton Schultz. I'm like, I know 6. It seems like a lot, but it's a great squad. And then Peyton. We found Peyton early on. Callie Topolsky really found her at a recruiting showcase, and she really showed up with her, and she really stood out to Callie. And she's a little undersized and outside, but she's a competitor, knows volleyball really well, good IQ, all around skills. Like she passes well, plays defense, can block, but she's been a great addition. And rounded out the whole squad of those 6, they're already best friends. It's ridiculous. But that's what part of our recruiting is. We kind of try to bring in, you know, athletes that fit the culture and that fit the personality that we know will get along. You know, we're trying not to bring in totally different types of personalities. I mean, that's a big deal when recruiting because we want to make sure you're kind of getting to the system of what I've set forward as a coach, you know, and fits his personality, and I think we did a great job with that.
And I know culture is something big we talked about with you all season. And Brooke, I know at the banquet I heard you guys, everyone, talk about culture. So with so many new recruits on already a roster that had such a great record last year, as a senior, you know, there is a lot of seniors on this roster now compared to last year. What was the, I guess, lessons or just advice you wanted to teach the freshmen, because this is already a winning team as it is from last year when it comes to the record. So how do you bring them in without, you know, it's all a reset point at this year. The record doesn't really matter anymore. It's time to get back to work, basically.
We've actually talked a little bit about how we all kind of have this false sense of, what's the word? Success, yeah. Okay. Where we're coming in, I mean, we had a great season last year. We are a successful program when you look at us, but at the end of the day, we haven't done anything. We didn't win conference last year. We didn't win the conference tournament. We didn't go to nationals, and that's our goal, to go to nationals. We're going to win nationals one day, and that's our goal. So we haven't done anything to get there. So I think taking a step back, not even the freshmen, but our whole team, just everybody, we need to not go into that false sense of success, but look at, we haven't done anything, and we've got to work to get there culturally. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I get it. I'm excited to see what you guys do this season. So we'll go into next season real quick. What are you guys most confident about? Coach, I'll start with you. What are you most confident about heading into this season with all the work that's been going on over the summer? What are you most confident about with this team, and what are some things you're like, okay, we'll see how it goes the first game and then tweak it from there?
The ability that we've had just to jump right into preseason and we've done team bonding stuff.
Okay.
Once again, the lip sync battle is part of it. We'll talk about that. Check out our Instagram for all the details. But I mean, the fact that we can just jump right into volleyball and not have to sit down and have so many meetings to start with, because these guys took time in the summer and took trips together. They went to a lake house together. They communicated with each other. They go to Chicago when, you know, one of their teammates, Reese Shirley's up there. They invest in each other during the summer. We had a short little 2.5-day camp here, and that just helps so much for us to jump into volleyball, because otherwise we just spend so much time getting to know each other. Hey, what's your favorite thing? We did another team bonding thing of like get to know your teammate. Did a little presentation on them, but I don't think it took them too long because they already knew each other pretty well. But what I'm looking forward to is the fact that we already jumped in and we had some really honest conversations, and we read our book, The Compound Effect. We had some honest conversations about, hey, have you thought about, you're not doing this, that maybe you should be doing this, or you're doing this really well. It's a lot easier for me now as a coach to be brutally honest. I don't have to sugarcoat anything, you know, and it's nice. And I'm pretty sarcastic too. But the whole team kind of is. But they handle it so well. We now know there's nothing personal. There's nothing personal coming from me, coming from Coach Callie, nothing coming personal from the teammates. You know what I mean? We all have your best interest. So that's been the biggest improvement. So we can really talk about competing and saying, you're not doing your job. This is what you got to do your job. You know, competing at a high level is not rainbows and butterflies. You got to get in there. I mean, if you ever saw the Last Dance, Netflix with Michael Jordan talking about the Bulls, and a lot of people after that were like, oh my gosh, Jordan was such a, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, he's a winner.
Fiery.
Yeah, he's, he wants it. And that's a big thing that we just lack. We got to understand, nice isn't going to win ball games. You got to get in there and grind. You got to get gritty. You got to tell people to be accountable. And that's what we are finally getting to. The rainbows and butterflies are out of our gym.
I can't wait.
But when they leave, they already talk about we're gonna live together one day and buy little mini houses and live in a cul-de-sac, and that's how they leave. And I'm like, that's fantastic. But as long as you guys know in the gym we're business, let's get down to it, and then after you guys can walk each other to class. Do what you got to do, hand in hand.
So
that's what I'm confident with.
As the final question for this interview, I'll ask this, and this is for both of you guys to answer. At the end of the season, where do you guys want to see yourselves? Of course, you said Nationals, so there's the answer right there. So I'll ask this. Why should fans come out to watch you guys this season when they do have the opportunity?
Let me take this so you can wrap this up with your wonderful stuff. We are playing the first 9 matches. 7 of those matches are either ranked teams or receiving vote teams. Okay. We did that on a purpose. If we want to be the best, we got to beat the best. We are going to Nationals. We were competing for that national title. We want that banner hanging in our gym. I'll say it right now. We have the skills, we have the stuff, we have the tools. We're investing all our time into it. We're going to make it real. If you want a goal, you better tell everybody and be accountable for that goal. We're going to Nationals this year. Okay. We're making the final site, top 25. We're going to be in the 16, and we're going to make it. That's what we're playing as, and it's a fun, fiery team. It's the best environment. Volleyball is fun to watch. If you haven't watched volleyball before, what have you been doing? Get out there and support. These ladies are in the community 24/7. We go to Friends Fellowship, wash windows. We go down to the pickleball park, see everybody. We, go to the Rose Garden, try to help with stuff. I mean, we do so much in the community to give back in hopes that you guys will, with camera not looking at it, will come out and support us. I mean, they really do invest, and we got some local kids too, so that's why you should come out here. They're awesome.
Brooke, what about you?
For me, I think Coach kind of said it, but our team is so fun to watch. Obviously, I don't get to see that, but the amount of times I have people who come up to me and say, oh my gosh, you guys are so fun to watch, because the love that we have for each other is unmatched. You don't see that in a lot of programs, and we're so fortunate that we've spent the time to build that culture that we have so much fun playing, and you can see that when you're watching, and it radiates because we love the game of volleyball. We love playing with each other, and it just radiates, and you can see it every time we play. So it's just really cool to see.
Well, I'm one to say I cannot wait to watch. I know Nakori can't wait to watch. So hopefully you guys do come out and watch the volleyball team this year. We've got more coming up on Inside IUE Sports, so don't go anywhere.